It's not every day you get to see what goes on behind the scenes of a big theatre production, unless of course you work behind the scenes of a big theatre production. Either way, I'm here to find out what happens on and off stage of the Australian production of Beauty and the Beast. There are hundreds of people doing all sorts of jobs to make a show like this come to life. But let's start with perhaps the more obvious, the actors themselves.
My name is Brendan Xavier and I play the Beast here.
My name's Shubhri Kandaya and I play Belle.
Hi, my name is Rowan Brown. I play Lumiere in Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
How did you get the role of Lumiere?
I auditioned like anybody else. You know, I've been in this industry for 27 years and, you know, it doesn't, you know, your resume counts for a lot, but you still have to prove yourself in the room every time.
I didn't really know where I'd fit in the show, but I knew that I wanted to be a part of it. But then I auditioned anyway, and then it turned out to be the right choice.
Once the show's been cast, it's time for rehearsals.
Well, it's a little over a month, and then we sort of workshop the show. We talk about the characters, we talk about the intentions of every scene.
You go into the process, I mean, you know, you learn the script, you read through it, you kind of try and get an understanding of your character and your version of that character, because you don't want to replicate what somebody else has done.
I think my favourite thing about what I do is getting to pick apart a character and kind of get to perform it, but feel like every night I get to try and make it that little bit better.
As for Backstage, well, that's a whole other show.
If you think there are a lot of people on stage, there's like 3 times the amount of people backstage kind of making sure that the show runs as smoothly as it does.
Speaking of, let's go meet some of them. Starting with Benjamin Osborne, the resident director.
The first one being Gaston.
So my job is being the eyes for our director in New York, here in Australia. And so that entails a lot. That is maintaining the show on a day-to-day basis and just making sure the production is as it was on opening night in Sydney 2 years ago.
In a similar role is Emma Domenico-Smith, the resident choreographer.
So I started as a dancer, and with that I just fell in love with looking at the technique of how dancers perform on stage, and then maintaining it sort of just came from I had a good eye. So when the show's happening, usually I'm out front watching and I note the show. So every time there's a dance routine on, I look for different things in that. If there's mistakes or if there's people not doing things correctly that needs to be fixed, I notate that.
Meanwhile, Luke Hunter is the musical director.
If you go and see a musical, and often the orchestra or the band are living in the orchestra pit down in the hole in the front of the stage, you often might see the back of someone's head and their arms waving around with a stick. You know, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah, so I'm conducting the orchestra most shows of the week.
There are also a lot of people working to make sure the actors look the part. Like Sophie Webber, who is the deputy head of wardrobe.
That's the Beast. That's the Beast costume.
And our job is to look after the costumes, the day-to-day washing, laundering, as well as the changes that happen with all the performers during a show, and make everyone look pretty, basically, and comfortable and able to perform.
Then you have Emily Griffiths, who is the deputy head of WHAM.
So WHAM is what we call wigs, hair and makeup in our building, and it's just more fun to be like, we're in WHAM, you know? So we come in and we do some maintenance on the wigs. We might need to like redress something. And so that's usually like a few hours before the hour call for the show. And then we go into the hour where we each have like a plot that we do, helping out like the cast, the principals, that kind of thing.
So how does a piece like this get onto the stage?
So this one we call the Castle Stairs.
Backstage, there are also a stack of technical roles, like Troy Leonards, who is the production technical swing.
It's not a very well-known position, but the way I like to think of it is I'm kind of like an understudy for all the crew roles that we need to make the show happen every night. So if somebody's sick or they're away on holiday, I can jump in to cover their show responsibilities. so that the show goes on.
It sounds like a very important job.
Yeah, it can be a very stressful job.
Speaking of stressful jobs, it's up to the stage manager, Grace Ben, to make sure all the different moving parts of the production happen.
What we do is we basically facilitate the creative's needs, which is a fancy way of saying that we make the show look how it should every night. One of the many things on the show we do is we call from what we call the calling desk. So we watch the show every single night. So if you see like a bit of lighting change, or if you see a set piece move, if you see sound change or anything like that, like any of those things that you see change on the stage that's technical, it's kind of like conducting the technical parts of a show, basically. Yeah.
My principal inputs, my female ensemble and my male ensemble.
One of the many people Grace communicates with is Liam McEwen, the head of sound.
My job is out here to maintain the sound design and mix the show as the primary operator. I have 2 other operators who come out. Big part of my job is quality control with them.
Do you, if you don't like someone, are you just like, turn down?
No, that's not my job.
And so what advice would you have for a young person watching this who wants to be doing what you're doing?
Be persistent. This getting, particularly getting out to say on a console can take time. Like a lot of people think this is where you start. This is the end game. With everybody and with a lot of the other departments, you'll start by helping with setup, pack down, but be pleasant and be persistent.
Stand out, be unique, be different, go and train, listen to everybody, take on all of the information and absorb it all, because we are shards of everything that we've learned over time.
There's no one way to come into this industry. There's no one way to find where you fit in this job.
Some advice that I have is just get involved in as much as you possibly can. Take every opportunity to learn, to work with different people, to hear about what their jobs are maybe in the industry, even if it's not what you want to do. I think the knowledge of like how the industry works as a whole is really interesting, and it's so important to know about.
It sure does take a village, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah.